Okay, so welcome, warrior, business owner, and this video is basically to address what your business may be going through right now and what you should be preparing for in this COVID season. And I've heard so many things going on, but I speak with you from a practitioner's perspective who runs a business in the real estate industry, the hospitality industry, and the ICT industry, and those are quite different industries. So I have seen how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected businesses across different industries, and I'll just speak with you. I'm hoping to be able to make this about 15 minutes, and I've titled this "My Business in this Season and Beyond." Can I just I started by calling you warrior because business is war, and people need to understand that if it wasn't COVID, at some point in your business you would also have other challenges, and you would need to be able to face them with a lot of gusto. The hallmark of any business owner is to be able to wade through murky waters, and that's the resilience that is needed for you to be able to come out tops and be able to build a sustainable business that can go through its seasons and come out very strong. One of the keywords for an entrepreneur is warrior, and if you have embraced it, you will have to keep riding the tides and keep coasting until you break. Yeah, you break into what I usually like to call a wide-chested warrior, and at that time too, you would also have your colors of challenges. It's just that you would then be a wide-chested warrior at the time who has earned her stripes, who has earned his stripes in the world of business, and you have learnt the resilience and the tenacity that is needed to be able to go through seasons upon seasons that come to your business from time to time. So let me start by saying, well done, warrior. This is a good time for you to earn another set of stripes, and I would say stay fearless. The only thing about earning stripes is that you become a part of the business military force. So I'll say breathe. Right? One of the reasons you need to breathe is that TD Jakes said something very profound, and he says the rain falls on everyone, it's just life. And so every business in this season has been affected in one way or the other, whether positively or negatively, but every business has been affected, and every business will need to make some adjustments to be able to maximize this season and the season that will come after. So I can't emphasize more the fact that you need to breathe and you need to stay calm. However, I also can't emphasize enough the fact that for you to be able to breathe, you need to be able to tap into some celestial forces. You need to be able to tap into divinity and speak to God and tell him you need the calmness in this season, and you need the direction in this season. Calmness, because the calmness is strategic for you to be able to even make decisions that are pragmatic and that are very useful. And then exact direction, because there will definitely be some outlier opportunities in this season and after that could just be the success that your business actually then needs to move into a major level, into a major dimension of revenue generation and profit generation. So let's dive into it. What are the things that you need to pay attention to, particularly in this season? One, distillate the issues. Don't use a blanket approach. Don't just say, I've met people say businesses are affected or industries are affected, but they've not taken time to distillate the issues with respect to their own businesses. So you need to distillate the issues. Get pen and paper. Begin to write. How has your business been affected in exactitude? And I've asked a few people this question, and they will say, oh, we closed up. That's what happened. But how has your business been affected in this time? What has happened to your cash flows? What has happened to your cash flow opportunities? What is your staff feeling about you? What is happening to your staff? How do they feel about you in this season? Some people have not been able to pay in full. Some people have had to tell some of their staff to stay at home, and so they're not able to pay them in full and stuff. What are they feeling? What are they feeling towards you at this time? What are they feeling towards the business at this time? What are they feeling towards the future of this business at this time? Some people may be at the danger of losing their key staff at this time to the fact that the people don't even believe there's a future for the business anymore after Corona. What exactly is happening to your clients? Are you losing any parts of your clients? So for example, in the hospitality industry that I operate, I have a food business, a restaurant, and we shut down operations, but we realized that many eateries were also beginning to open again for deliveries, and we felt that it was important for us to be available for our customers at this time for two reasons. One, they will be happy that we are also happy to be available for them, but also if we're not available for them in this season, someone else will be available for them, and we may lose a good number of our online clientele that we are taking time to build and buy their confidence to other people who are offering them services at this time. So distillate the exact issues and know exactly how your business is being affected. It may just not be that people are not buying at this time, but are you even losing them and you're not going to be able to get them back in this time? Distillate the issues in exactitude. Number two, how has this affected your industry as a whole? So it has affected your business in certain ways, but what of your industry as a whole? This is important because the solutions that you'll be preferring in this season would have to be in sync or in tandem with what's going to be happening in your industry during and after the COVID season. I'll give an example. Someone who is in the training industry will understand that things like online training sessions are going to get a surge, so people are going to start buying training modules online for their staff and stuff, and that will become a trend that will be a beautiful bride. If all you want to push is traditional class settings and all of that, you will find out that some people may be overtaking you in some regards because you did not see the shift going on in your industry. You need to understand how your industry has been affected so that you can reposition appropriately to take advantage of the opportunities that would arise in your industry and weave that very significantly into your comeback strategy. ICT has been affected very differently than real estate. Real estate has been affected very differently from food, but you need to understand what is going on in your industry per time. 4, how much daily income am I losing now? Put figures on it. How much would I ordinarily be making every day in terms of revenue and in terms of profits? How much of this can I devise ways to start making again? And very importantly, with the use of technology. So if you sell, for example, clothes, you're beginning to think, oh yes, even though people can try on their clothes and all of that, how can I still reach people? How can I use dispatch riders? How can I send, for example, 10 clothes to people and say, can you try it and send me back the ones that you're not buying? How much of my revenue, the revenue that I otherwise would have been making, can I start to make even in this season? Because really nobody can really put an exactitude to how long this season is going to last. You need to understand that. So I'll still talk about people, for example, who are doing training. These are times organizations that probably turned down your training bouquet because they didn't have time or because they did not have enough resources to fund your training, which would have otherwise had needed a location and all of that. You may want to reach out to them in this season and say that, oh, now that all your staff at home, do you want me to give you a link to one of my trainings? Just stay in front of your camera and record a lovely, decent one and customer service that is bespoke for you, and I'll sell it to you at a significant discount. What part of your revenues can you get back even during this season? And you'll be surprised how that part that you're trying to get back and you think is for this season may just spin up to be a major part of your business going forward. Number 3, your customers. So I see many business IG handles going moribund. I see many business social media handles, I see them going moribund and they're not saying much because they're shut down. You don't understand that. You see, the basis of actually continuing to communicate is the fact that you remain in the minds of your customers and your clientele, such that once you're back, you're still in their minds as fresh as before COVID-19. So it's important that you keep communicating. Send emails to your customer base. Make sure you're communicating with them on social media. Make sure that you're discussing with them, you're telling issues, advisory things around COVID-19, around your business and how you intend to serve them better. You may want to say, oh, we have a new product that is coming up, and oh, guess what, you need to prepare for this and all of. There's so many things you can use to tantalize them and keep them engaged, because if you don't keep them engaged, you don't keep your customers engaged, somebody else will. And whoever keeps them engaged may be the person who's going to be the beautiful bride when all of this is over. Your staff, that's so important. Some of us may be losing the confidence of our staff at this time. For many companies, you need to understand that you may need to make cash flow adjustments to ensure that you maintain the liquidity that is necessary. However, look at your cash flows. There's some companies that may be able to still continue to pay their staff, and they still have that back, that's enough cash flow to take them for a certain period. But for the companies that understand that their liquidity may be affected, and I feel that many companies fall into this bucket, their liquidity may be affected if their staff expenditure remain the same. Whatever it is that may need to happen, you need to be pragmatic. You need to put on your business hat, but you also need to be fair and understand that your staff are also the engine of your business. So but whatever decision you're making in this season, is important that you communicate with them. Communication is king. Let them understand what is going on. Let them understand the cash flows of the company. Let them understand why you're making certain decisions that you're making, but also always leave a very tiny say that if there's any one of them that is in a terrible situation and needs your attention beyond what has been given in terms of salaries and other remuneration, they should be able to reach someone so that they know that you have their backs, right? What's your comeback plan? The biggest part is this: in putting your comeback plan in place, you need to look at, what could I have been doing better? This is time to look at your business, because you can look almost like introspect right now. What have I been doing in this business that I could have done better? Is it cash flow management? Is it my purchasing patterns? Is it our sales platforms? What else? What could we have been doing that could have been better? So I'll give you a typical example. We had 30% of, in the food business now, we had 30% of our sales as online orders, and then we had 70% is dine in. And I said that, imagine if we had also done a lot more in the ordering space, in the online space. You would imagine that right now, and if we had, for example, a 70% of our businesses as online orders, you would imagine that right now we would feel a little bit of the cutoff for the dining, but we would be significantly still in the revenues, because many of our orders were online anyways. And why is this important? I was having a Zoom strategy session with my team recently, and I said to them that it's important that we look at this business model very well. Suddenly it occurred to me more clearly that actually the online clientele are cheaper to serve. They're cheaper to serve than the dine-in, because they don't wash their hands in our environment. They don't we don't have to put on the AC for them. We use less resources. We need less people to attend to them. We don't need waiters to attend to them. So their critical mass, that's the online clientele, the critical mass that are also cheaper to serve. So if we had that as our stronger arm, you'll find out that the business will be generating a lot more revenues with a lot more revenues compared to costs. So those are the kinds of analysis you need to be making in this season. What can I do to make my business better? Don't leave ICT out of your deals. Heighten it. Think about this. Please think about this. How can I use IT to make my business better? IT is significant leverage, and you're going to have to think about it very strong in the post-COVID-19 period. What's your staffing plan? Did you operate and still operate? Was it optimal? Did you have an excellent staffing plan? Did you have just right enough, or you had too many staff, or you didn't have enough? Make your wise decision now and start looking at new income lines from that same business, such that new income lines that can be significantly linked to ICT. Now go back to the basics. This is a good time for you to think. Sometimes we're running the business and grinding the business, when what we need to do is to take a back seat and go back to the basic what exactly is this business? And sometimes you need to ask yourself that question: where exactly is this business going? Don't be lost in the noise, since there's no noise now. You need to distillate those things very, very clearly. Now, what is your re-entry plan? How do you intend to gear up? How do you intend to entice your customers? Are you looking at discounts? Are you looking at parties? Are you looking at giveaways? Are you looking at new products? There must be something that would arouse customer interest so that people are excited to come back to you. People are excited to come back into the business. People are excited. You need to think about what your excitement plan is. What's your acceleration plan? Look at the government initiatives available and say, oh, is there anyone that I can fit into? And there's some of them that you may be able to fit into, especially the new one that is COVID related. Look at the skills lying on the table that you have not touched. And more importantly, as I wrap this up, remember to pray. Schedule prayers. Be deliberate. This is the time to pray about your business. Make declarations. Ask God for direction and trust Him. While you do all of this, ensure that you never give up. Don't there's a lot of, oh, the economy is going to be affected and all of that, and that's absolutely true. But when the economies are affected, money didn't burn off the surface of the earth. Money just moved into certain silos and is now available for people. So you need to create your own silo and ensure that you have some money going in there for you and for your business. Breathe, move on. Don't give up. Be strategic in this season. Be wise in this season. Look at all the tenets of your business. What can you do to make it better? And very importantly, don't shy away from the details. Some businesses have loans, some businesses have issues, and they are literally just hiding in COVID-19 right now, and they're not facing the issues. You need to be able to face it, because COVID-19 is going to be over, and when it's over, those issues will still be staring you at the face. Some people may need to talk to lawyers, some people need to talk to financial advisors. Some people, don't be afraid, look for help when you need it, but don't hide in COVID-19, because COVID-19 will soon be over, right? I'm happy to have shared a few tips with you. I hope you found this very useful. Take your time, make your business greater. We're going to do this. This is a passing phase. Don't be discouraged, don't give up, and know that the top is where we belong. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your stay-at-home season. Stay home, stay safe, and make sure that in this season you hold on to God more than ever before. Have a good one.